I should have started covering My Adventures with Superman a long time ago, so I'm gonna play catch up a little bit. First thing I want to say about My Adventures with Superman is so much better than Superman and Lois. I'm not used to seeing Superman this often, it's so nice. You wouldn't think it's too much to ask to see the character who's the selling points of the show that often, would you? And I've never liked Lois this much before. I think the way they introduced Lois and immediately established her as a more fun version of Lois was just genius. They have Clark wake up and his alarm clock's going off, so he touches it and it breaks. So they're sort of making fun of him a bit. And then Lois wakes up and her alarm clock goes off and she keeps hitting it and it doesn't turn off, so they're making fun of her too. We've seen so many times in recent years the female character isn't allowed to be as funny as male characters, but this version immediately shows we're making fun of both. Well, we're having some comedy at least with both Clark and Lois, with having such an apples to apples comparison. That was, in my opinion, that was a lot more clever than it seems. Well, it's so clever in such a simplistic way, I mean. Normally Lois is just, in my opinion, Lois is normally the character who's unlikable, but you sort of like the way that Superman likes her. Because Superman is an alien paragon of good who can afford to look down on humanity with all their flaws, but he likes humanity despite all their flaws, and Lois is also very flawed and rough around the edges, but Superman likes her anyway. In My Adventures with Superman, she kind of has that. Another way the show uses her more rough around the edges states is having her do stuff that Superman wouldn't do, like having her swipe the badges, and at first he's judging her for it, but ultimately it lets them continue on their mission.
Unless someone had the warden's keycard. Oh, look!
I'm very perturbed by your actions.
Of course.
Because stealing is wrong.
But...
In the first few episodes, Clark and Lois do that whole "we're just co-workers, that's what they all say" kind of thing, but at least that doesn't last too long.
You like her.
No, what? I mean, I admire Miss Lane.
Yeah, you do.
As professionals, Jimmy. Professionals.
Oh, come on, Kansas, take a risk. What's the worst that could happen?
You know what? Everything you do is a mistake. You get fired, you bring us here. You know, I just wish you would go back to not being around anymore.
Clark and Lois naturally gravitate to each other because of their fun and/or caring personalities, but the wrench in the gears is, of course, that Lois wants to write a story about Superman exposing his secrets to the world, and Clark doesn't want that, so he doesn't tell her that he's Superman. And then when she figures out he's Superman, she's super mad at him. Now, a lot of people have compared this to the debacle that was Amber in Invincible. There's been plenty of arguments made for Lois not really being as bad as Amber. If you haven't seen Invincible, basically there's this horrible character named Amber who broke up with Invincible because he didn't tell her he was a superhero. And apparently Amber knew that Invincible was a superhero, but she was still mad at him even though she knew he was saving lives. And then they, for no good reason, at the end of the season, they got back together. They didn't really explain very well why she came back to him, so it just came across to me like she came back to Invincible because it was considered cool to like Invincible suddenly. But anyway, in My Adventures with Superman, to me the big difference is how they handled them making up afterwards, because Lois eventually clarified to Clark that her deeper feelings towards being mad at him were she was thinking that if he was lying to her, maybe their relationship was just him trying to use her as cover to seem normal, and that was a bit easier to sympathize with than him not telling her that he's Superman. Now, Clark said that he didn't want Lois to know he was Superman because she was talking about writing an article to expose all his secrets, and then she said, "I didn't know it was you."
You hated Superman. You said he was a liar, and you were gonna find and publish all of his secrets. My secrets.
I would never do that to you. I had no idea it was you until after the gala. How could you think that?
You jumped off a roof! I don't know what to think.
Something they never really addressed was the fact that it shouldn't have mattered who Superman was. It was just kind of messed up for her to want to expose all of Superman's secrets, especially since he saved her life. So thankfully they got past that and they're back together now in not too big a stretch of time. You have to appreciate the pacing with these two. They don't stretch it out for very long. And of course they had Lois find those holographic projections of other dimensions where Superman is a villain. It seems like it's mandatory at this point. It just seems inevitable that when writers have this incorruptible paragon of good, the first question they ask is, but what if he was become evil though? Oh, and by the way, Superman got captured by a gang of villains.
No, I only wanna...
Shut him up.
So now that we're done playing catch up, let's get into the most recent episode, episode 9.
You're not going to punch your way out of this one, Superman. Now I need dates and numbers.
What dates?
He already has a girlfriend. Okay, that's cool. They tried to invade on the day that Krypton was blown up. It was probably General Zod who was trying to invade. I don't think the entirety of Krypton was like a evil empire.
Jimmy, I said awful things to Clark. I doubted him when he needed us most.
Yes, you did.
Take a break from being Superman and just try being normal?
Normal.
Clark, no, I was wrong, and now he's gone,
And we are going to find him.
It's good that she recognizes that, yeah.
Remember when you asked me who I was? I'm a weapon. I'm an alien invader sent to kill you all.
No, you would never hurt anyone. You help people.
It's such a clever spin on Superman's formula. Earlier in the season, Jor-El's hologram tried to talk to Clark, but Clark didn't know Kryptonian and the hologram didn't know English, so it's not like he can give him the usual speech about him being here to help shine light for humanity to follow towards a better future.
Aniros Biancas Breno! Tell him, Aslane. Tell him.
So now he doesn't know what to think of himself. It's so stupid of Jor-El to not realize that Clark wouldn't know Kryptonian, but it's so clever of the writers to introduce that communication barrier.
I'm made for destruction. The Earth's better off without me.
no, I won't accept that. You're not a weapon, you're a person.
Aww.
Oh, no, we have to help. How do we help? Superman is out there right now defending us, but he can't do this on his own. When I first met Superman, I didn't know how to feel. He was stronger than us, faster. It's our turn, Metropolis.
So please, turn off your power. Do anything you can to starve Parasite of energy.
I also love how this version of Lois is more participatory, even though she's not a combatant. Superhero love interests who are not also superheroes tend to be completely useless sometimes, but this show's been doing a pretty good job of having Lois be able to do stuff that helps Superman with his Superman stuff, while also not having her need to fight on the same level as he does.
Come on, Superman.
Honey, turn off the lights.
I love when heroes have a bunch of people that they saved come to rescue them in return. I love that, and it doesn't happen enough. Okay, but how are you gonna up the ante for the season finale?
My world is better with you in it. So don't ever worry me like that again, Smallville.
Oh, he's gonna worry you like
Love
that
you, and-
a million more times.
love you too.
Can Jimmy get a girlfriend? He's kind of stuck as a third wheel right now. As usual, very good. They even kind of rationalized her wanting to expose Superman's secrets initially, when she said that when Superman first showed up, she didn't know what to think of him. There's only one more episode in this season to be released. I'll be sure to make another video after that one releases. So remember to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, and stand for truth, justice, and the American way.